want to say you one thing very clearly that, in the class, dear student, in the class, today at this point, I'm giving you some ideas about how to introduce yourself, the right way of giving introduction, the easiest way of giving introduction. There are different ways of introducing ourselves. We can give our introduction in different ways. The first and the most important part is that we have to be able to give our introduction. Okay, this is what I want you to understand. Are you understanding me? Are you getting me properly?
Yes, sir, I'm catching you.
Everyone
Yes, sir.
should have proper understanding, my student. I want you to understand what I'm teaching to you. Maybe from today onwards, I may not speak in Nepali because your speaking course is started. If you get some difficulty in understanding, you should let me know. In that situation, I will go for Nepali. Otherwise, I prefer talking in English all the time. Dear students, at this point, I'm teaching you about how to introduce yourself. Whenever you study about English speaking course, the first and the most important chapter that you have to focus on is how to introduce yourself, who you are. You have to be able to introduce who you are. Yes, I mean, who are you? Am I right? That's why, what is the right way of giving introduction? Regarding that one part, I'm going to teach you. In our country, my students, I want to tell you very clearly that in our country, many people have very poor method of giving introduction. They do not follow proper modality to give the introduction. That's why their introduction is not so much effective. I request you to follow certain method that makes you perfect and that makes your introduction very much effective, so that the next person talking to you gets a lot of information about who you are and all information related to you, my students. So let's go for this one. Here I have written, an easy way to understand in both Nepali and English, but this chapter will be taught in English only. Somehow, somewhere, I may go for Nepali to make you understand. In some cases, you are going to learn about how to introduce yourself. What is the right way of giving introduction? What should you do whenever someone is asking about your introduction? What you should say whenever you go for introduction, whenever you speak in front of other. This is what I'm teaching you. This is what I'm giving you. I mean, the knowledge is being given about how to introduce yourself. Dear students, simply we say, if I ask you who you are, you say, I'm Ramesh and I'm from Baglung. That's all you will speak. Dear students, this is not enough. Whenever you are asked to give your introduction, you have to focus on some important points that you have to cover in your introduction. If you are talking with your friend, it's okay. You can speak in a very short form. But if you are going to, attend the interview of job, if you are going to attend the interview of embassy or anywhere, if you are going outside, or anyone, whom you have not met at, if you are talking with that person, you have to follow one modality, my student. This is what I want you to understand. Okay, it's clear for you. And here I have some important, let's say, ways that you have to focus whenever you go for introduction. Are you understanding me? Are you understanding me? Is my voice clearly heard? Do not expect me. Do not expect me to speak in Nepali. Do not expect me to speak in Nepali, okay? It will be wrong if you force me to speak in Nepali, because till today, I taught you tense, I taught you modal verb, I taught you preposition, I taught many more important parts of grammar, and I made you understand everything, my student. And from today, you are going to implement what I taught you before. What I taught you before, that is what you are going to implement from today. That's why class starting from today is very much effective. This class somehow matches to the class of IELTS test speaking. This class somehow matches to the class of, let's say, another type of speaking course, because here we spend much time, around 7 days, for speaking on different topics, so that we get habituated to speak in English. My intention is to make you speak in English. My intention is to make you good at English speaking, writing, reading, and listening. Dear students, now listen to me. Ismi Zamin Pavel, once again, I want to give my name to you. And here, I'm giving my name to you because I'm going to make my own introduction. But before I give you my whole introduction, I just, I will give you some ideas about and some points about, which you have to speak whenever you are giving your introduction. So these are the points, my dear student. These are the most important points you have to focus on. Like whenever you are introducing yourself, you need to include the following information in your introduction. Dear students, look at this one. If you are giving your introduction, you have to focus on these 8 points. If you focus on 8 points, my dear student, your speaking is considered to be very good. Your introduction is supposed to be the best. Your introduction is supposed to be the best. So, first number, greeting. Greeting is the most important part of our life. Whenever we meet someone else, whenever we have someone in front of us, we have to greet the person according to the level the person has. Either he is senior or junior, you have to respect, isn't it? You have to respect the person. And greeting, the first and the most important part is greeting in your introduction. And the next one, your name, your place, family, work experience, education, skill, hobbies, and closing. These 8 points you have to focus on. And now I'm going to teach you the first one, greeting, how to greet other. How to greet other at the time of giving introduction. This is what I'm going to teach you right now. Have you seen the screen properly, my dear student?
Yes, sir.
Navraj, is there any problem?
No problem at all, sir. It
Okay,
is clearly visible.
yeah. So, my dear student, look at this one part, greeting part. Greeting means like, respecting someone. You have to respect someone according to time. We have different, let's say, ways of greeting. In English, you have to say either good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You should not say namaste, this and that. Other cultures, English has its own way of greeting. That is, either you should say good afternoon, either good afternoon or good morning or good evening. Like if you are talking to me at this point, what should you say? Good evening, sir. You should say yes. If you were talking in the morning, what would you say? You would say good morning, sir, isn't it? If the time would be in the afternoon, what would you say? You would say good afternoon, sir. So first and the most important part is that time. Suppose you are going for interview. Suppose you are going to give your introduction. The first one step is introduction, and the introduction, you are asked to introduce yourself. And in introduction, the first important step is greeting. You have to greet someone. Like, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Now, I may say you, okay, you can start your introduction. I may say you, then what should you say? The first one part, good afternoon, sir. I have a great pleasure to thank you for giving me such a golden opportunity to introduce myself. You can say, or it's my great pleasure to introduce myself. You can say, or I want to thank you for providing me this opportunity to introduce myself. Out of three, any one you can use, my district. Any one. But what we say normally in our life, what we say, please people, it means we those who are not, let's say, so much in, let's say, familiar with the methods of introduction, what we say directly, it's me, Praveen, I am from Kaski. Directly, no good afternoon, no good morning, nothing there. It is wrong. So the right way of introduction begins from step by step. And the first step is greeting. Like you can say, good morning, sir. I have a great pleasure to introduce myself. Yes. Good morning, sir. I have a great pleasure to introduce myself. The first one is very okay. First one part, greeting part is okay. There is no problem. Or you can say, good morning, sir. I have a great pleasure, to introduce myself. Or you can say, I have a great pleasure to thank you for giving me such an golden opportunity to introduce myself. Or you can say, I want to thank you for providing me such an opportunity to introduce myself. So first one is greeting. You have to focus on this one. Then after you go to your name and place. Then after only you go to your name and place, my district. This is what you have to understand. And in this part, I want you to understand one thing very clearly, that whenever you are talking about, your name and place, do not, follow traditional method of giving introduction. When I was a child, I used to say, I'm Jamin Paudel. I'm from Parbat district. I used to say like that, but now time had changed. We have to change with the change in time, and our language also should be very much effective. We should not speak in such a way that other will think this is old way of speaking. I mean traditional way of speaking. You can bring some changes to make your speaking very much effective. Like you can say, I'm Shankar Subedi, born and raised in Prabhat district, but now I live in Pokhara. Now you can also say, I'm Gagan Chand, born and raised in Dading, but now I live in Kathmandu. Look at this part, my dear student. Three types of informations are added over here. First one is that your place where you were born. Next one, your name, and the place where you are living now. In one sentence, you have contained the information of three parts: your name, address, and the place you are living. That's why this is the easiest way of giving introduction. But people, they prefer saying, I'm Shankar Subedi, I'm from Prabhat district, this and that, and then they are breaking, small sentence they are making. I don't say that is wrong. That's okay. That's okay for my baby. That's okay for school students. That's not okay for senior students. That's not okay for students like you. That's not okay for my students in English language class. Because if I'm here, no need to fear. I make everything clear. Only the matter is that you have to share your problem over here. Yes. And I request you to follow my instruction. Go by my instruction. My instructions are very important for you. When I studied, when I was trained by Chris Pill, an American professor, he taught me. And that time he told me many more things about, these all parts. That time I got confused. If I were taught all these things in my country, if I were taught a sort of, let's say, method in my school life, I would have, been successful about using this proper method of introduction. But I didn't get that chance in my childhood. Now I think that this is what I should teach my students so that your introduction part becomes very much effective. So, in this sentence, my dear students, if you are talking with native speaker, try to understand, okay? If you are talking with native speaker, my dear student, only whenever you are talking with native speaker, you have to, native speaker means like you're the person with whom you are talking in your own country. If you are talking with someone in your own country, you have to speak like this, my dear student. Otherwise, you cannot do like this. I mean, here, suppose just for an example, you are talking with someone like of your own country. If you are talking with someone of your own country, then you can say, yes, okay, that person may know the place where Prabhat is. That person may know, where, let's say Kathmandu is. But if you are talking with someone, who is not of your country, you have to give your name and place very differently. I want you to understand here the difference between one number and two number. All of you, look at this one part, my district. Like, I'm Shankar Subedi, born and raised, or let's say grew up in Prabhat district, but now I live in Pokhara. Yes, this is what you have seen over here. Now you can just have a look at this part. Next one, I'm Shankar Subedi, born and raised in Nepal, the land of Mount Everest. Talking to foreigner speaker. Whenever you are talking with foreigner, whenever you are talking with someone who is from another country, then you have to use the next one sentence, because that person may not know where Kathmandu is. That person may not know where Pokhara is. How can that person know it? Isn't it? Foreigner does not know that. Foreigner knows where Mount Everest is. Foreigner knows, where Lord Gautam Buddha was born. So you have to highlight the major part that is worldwide, or that is known by many people in the world. This is what I want you to understand. Dear students, listen to me. So at this point, I am teaching you about how you should speak about your name and place, my dear student. Easily you can speak, my name is this, I am from there. But that method is old one. You have to make your speaking very much effective. How much effectiveness you can maintain, that level you gain, whenever you talk with other in English. It depends on your effectiveness. It depends on the effectiveness of your sentence. I have I have, let's say, contained all information over here in one sentence and I have spoken. If I were you, I would say, I'm Jamin Paudel, born and raised in Prabhat district, but now I live in Kathmandu. If I talk with my one friend, I say like this. But if I talk with foreigner, what do I say? I say in this way. I'm Jamin Paudel, born and raised in Nepal, the land of Mount Everest. Nepal, I have to focus my country and what is the part that, makes my country famous or that is making my country famous. Mount Everest is the head of our country that is standing to introduce our country all over the world. If you go to America, if you go to different parts of the world, people may not know your country. People may not know where Nepal is. People may not know, Nepal, but they know Mount Everest. They know you by the name Mount Everest. They know you by the name of, or by the place the Lord Gautam Buddha was born. That's why you have to focus on that part which they know. And they know the land of Mount Everest. So whenever you talk with foreigner, you have to use this next one step. But at the time of talking with your friend, my student, whenever you are talking with your friend, you have to speak the front one part. Means first one sentence. Okay, so I request you to speak over here one sentence by using 1 and 2 tips. Okay, now Raz, would you mind speaking? Just you have to focus on 1 and 2. I mean greeting and name place about you. Can you try please?
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Good evening. It's my great pleasure to introduce myself. It's me, Navraj Mial, born and raised in Dolakha district, and now I live in Kathmandu.
Wow, so good. Now further I teach you, don't worry. Further I teach you how to add all the information. I will teach you, don't worry. Like, anyone over here, do you want to practice my restraint? Those who have kept their camera off, please, you had better sleep, okay? No need to join the class, yesterday. I will not, focus on you. Really, truly speaking, I don't care of them who are keeping their camera off. I don't, mind whether they are here or not. That much negligence I am doing to those who are keeping their camera off. So I request you to be active in the class. Gagan, do you want to speak here?
Okay, sir. I want. Good evening, everybody. I am Gagan Chand, born and raised in Baitari. Now I live in Kathmandu. It's cinema.
Yes, very good. But you have skipped one line here. You have left one line. I mean, you forgot to add one line like, good evening, everyone. It's my great pleasure to introduce myself. It's me, Gagan, or I'm Gagan. Yes, Chand. One part you are missing. Like after saying good evening, at least speak one side, okay? Either you should speak, I have a great pleasure, or it's my great pleasure, or anyone you want. You feel easy to use. You have to use it because it makes your introduction very much, let's say, effective. Crystal Ma, would you mind speaking here?
Pleasure to get this opportunity.
Yeah.
In front of us.
Okay, Crystal Ma.
Okay, sir. Good evening, everyone. I have a great pleasure to thank you for giving me such an opportunity to introduce myself. I am Kristalma Shrestha, born and grew up in Kathmandu district and also currently living in Kathmandu.
Yes, very good. So she succeeded to cover 1 and 2 points. I will teach you furthermore. So here I go for the next one is 2. If anybody says, sir, I will do, then I will let you speak.
May I, sir?
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. It is my great pleasure to introduce myself. I am Radha Gore. I am from Palpa, born and raised up in Palpa district and lives in also Palpa. Thank you.
Wow, it's very good one. Next one over here, Kamala Karki. Kamala Karki. Everyone should speak over here. I don't let you mind twin. Okay.
Good evening. Good evening, sir. I have a great pleasure to thank you for giving me such opportunity to introduce myself. I am Kamala Karki. My born and raised is Taplejung. Now I am living in Kathmandu, Old Baneshwar. Thank you.
That's very good one sentence. Kushal Prajuli, do you want to speak?
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. I have a great pleasure to thank you for giving me such an opportunity. Uh, I'm I'm Kishore Prajari from Rotor district. Currently, I live in Hetoda. Okay,
Okay,
it's all
that's
about me.
yeah, that's also okay. I don't see that's wrong. That's also okay, but you can make it a bit standard. Okay. Now next one over here, like Sangeeta Thapa. Would you mind, please? Would you mind speaking?
Yes, sir. Good, good evening, everyone. I have a great pleasure to thank you for giving me such an opportunity to introduce myself. I am Sangeeta Thapa, born and raised in Narayangad district, but now I live in Gangabu, Kathmandu. At
Wow, it's very good. So she succeeded. She succeeded to cover 2 points over here. I will ask other for other points over here. Okay. Now let's go for the third one step, my students, about family. Now you knew about one and two. Now third one about family. In your introduction, you have to speak about your family also. This is what I'm going to teach you. Like I mean to say that you have to speak about your family in your introduction. You may say, I belong to a small family of 6 members. Not only that, even you can say, I have a small family of 4 members. There are 5 members in my family. You can speak out of these 4 points, any one you can use. Whichever you want, let's say easy to use, you can use that one. But that must have the information of your family. That must have the information of your family. This is what you have to understand, my student. To make your introduction very much systematic, to make your introduction very much effective, you must have proper way of introduction. That's why this is what I'm teaching you over here. Okay, like you can say, I belong to a small family means you are of a small family and that has 6 members. Yeah, you can say, I'm married, I have a wife, 2 daughters and a son. Okay, now let's add one this and make our introduction. Like you can say, I can say, if I talk about myself, what I say, I simply say like this. Okay, good afternoon or good evening, everyone. It's my great pleasure to thank you for giving me such a golden opportunity to introduce myself. It's Benjamin Paudel, born and raised in Prabhat district, but now I live in Pokhara. I belong to a small family of 6 members, including me. That's all. That's all, my student. So you have to toss this part also. About your family, in a short information is required. You have to give very short information about your family whenever you are giving your introduction. Whichever you feel easy to use, you can use that one, my student. Whichever you feel easy to use. It doesn't mean that you have to use 4 that I have displayed over here. Out of 4, any one can be used. But that must have the information of your family. That must have the information of your family. Whatever you want to say. This is the third one point. Now going to fourth one, I mean, here I have displayed the fourth one part, my student, about work and experience. Whenever you are giving your introduction, dear students, you have to talk about your work and experience also. Here I want to say one thing. If you are working, you have to talk about your work experience. If you are not working, then you can simply say one thing like, I'm a student. That's why I don't have any job. You can say, I don't have any job because I'm a student. Or you can say, I'm a student and I'm looking for a job. If you do not have work, if you do not have work experience, you can speak the last one sentence, I'm a student and I'm looking for a job. If you are working somewhere, then you have to speak in different way. I want you, like, I work for Mega Bank. You can say, I work as an officer in Mega Bank, you can say, or at Mega Bank, you can say. Or you can say, I'm an English teacher. If I talk about myself, I'm an English teacher. I'm an English teacher. I have been teaching since I passed +2. It means now I have told you the experience that I have. It has been around 10 years since I started teaching. That's why my experience can also be written or spoken in this part of my introduction. Whenever you are giving your introduction, my student, you must have this part in your introduction. It doesn't mean that you say, it's me, Gagan Chan, I'm from, Pokhara. That much, it is not enough. If you are going to make your, suppose just an example, if you are talking with your friend, it's okay. With your friend, you can say, it's me, this, I am from here. It's okay. But if you are really giving your introduction, if you want to give, whole introduction about yourself and related, all the things related to you, then you must have a proper method of speaking. You must have a proper way of speaking, my student. This is what I want you to speak. This is what I want you to understand. You may be feeling a bit difficult to understand what I'm saying to you. Do you understand my English? Should I speak in Nepali? Should I speak in Nepali, my student?
Yes, sir.
No, sir, no, you can.
No, sir, no.
No, sir, you shouldn't speak
It
in.
is you, my student. It is you. Whenever I speak in English, I'm like AK-47. I just, shoot like AK-47. That's why, I don't try to speak also. But it is you who wants, it depends on you how you want to use me. If you want me to speak in Nepali to make you understand, I don't have any problem to speak in Nepali. But I want to speak in English all the time. I want you to to be good at English. That's why I'm telling you, my student, just, follow my instruction. If you, here also, my students, if you are not understanding, I have another method of teaching also. I'm trying to use in a very simple language. I'm not using any difficult word over here that I use for advanced course, that I use for TOEFL class, IELTS test class. I do not use such type of vast language over here. I'm not speaking any compound sentence, any complex sentence. I'm speaking simple sentences. That's why I hope you understand. So, at this point, I'm telling you that you should include the part of your experience in your introduction. Okay, like work and experience. What work do you have? Like I work for Mega Bank or anything you can say. Okay, I have taught you 4 points till now. So using 4 points, can you speak like here? Simply, I want to draw your attention. I have taught you 4 points like your greeting, name, place, and family. Can you speak, by using these 4 points, or let's say 5 points I have taught you. 5 points I have taught you, work and experience. Can you speak by using these 5 points? How do you say? If I were you, I would say like this. Okay. Good evening, everyone. You can just speak like this. Good evening, everyone. I have a great pleasure to thank you for giving me such a golden opportunity to introduce myself. I'm Jamin Paudel, born and raised in Prabhat district, but now I live in Kathmandu. Yes, I belong to a small family of 6 members. Regarding my work experience, I have been working as an English teacher since 2017. That's all. Yes, 4 points you are using in your introduction. 4 points you are using in your introduction. Now I go for Sudip. Sudip, would you mind speaking over here by using 4 points?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Hi, good evening. It's my great pleasure to introduce myself. I'm Sudip Jang Adhikari, born and raised in eastern part of Nepal. Born and raised in eastern part of Nepal, the land of Mount Everest. I have a small family of 4 members, my parents and my small brothers. I have 2 years experience as a chef in 5-star properties. It's fine.
Right.
That's it, sir.
Wow, very good. It's enough. Yeah, it's enough. Some parts, Bobs, maybe missing there. It looks maybe because of internet, I'm not getting that. Otherwise, this is the right one way to understand my student. Gagan,
Thank
or
you,
anyone
sir.
over here, Kamala, anyone, next one. Let's go for next one. Kriti,
May,
anyone?
may,
Yes?
Good evening, everyone. It is my great pleasure to introduce myself. My name is Radha Gare, born and raised up in Palpa district and lives in also Tansin Palpa. I belong to a small family in 4 members, including me. I am married. I have a husband and daughter and son. I work of United Mission Hospital, Tansin Palpa. Regarding my experience, I have been working as a hospital since 2068. I have a 10 years experience as a nurse. Thank you, sir.
Wow, you are a nurse. It's my great pleasure. You are a nurse. Okay, you can say I have been working as a nurse, since 2076, or sorry, 2066, 2067, whatever you want to say. You can use that since also. I have taught you how to use since in sentence. So, here, I taught you about these 5 methods, yeah, that you have to focus on, my student. Now let's go for the next one, education. You have to speak about your education in your, let's say, introduction also. It is the 6th one. Like regarding my education, whatever level you have, I have completed +2. I have completed master, whatever you have. Regarding my education, I have completed MA in English from Trivandrum University. Besides, I'm pursuing, yes, pursuing next degree. Yes, next degree in sociology from, let's say, Trivandrum University. Here I have spoken about education level. Yes, so even you can speak like this one about your education. You can say regarding my education. Regarding my education means concerning my education, about my education. You are talking about that part. That's why I have completed. Present perfect tense is used here. I have completed MA in English from Trivandrum University. Besides, I'm pursuing next degree in sociology from Trivandrum University. Yes, this is the next one part. So at this point, or in this level, in this part of your introduction, you can talk about your education level also, my dear student. This is what I want you to understand. Are you clear, my dear student?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have to understand. And here, skill and hobbies also. Listen to me. In this part, dear students, and we start from the beginning. Skill and hobbies, like what skill do you have? I mean, what type of skill do you have? You may have skill of English, you may have skill of Nepali, you may be skillful in English typing, you may be skillful in Nepali typing. Whatever skill you have, you may be proficient in English typing. You have to speak one sentence about your skill, at least one sentence that you have, a special type of skill that you have. If I were you, I would say, I'm skillful in teaching profession. I'm skillful in English. Or you can say, I'm skillful in English typing. I'm skillful in dealing with, serious cases as an officer of Nepal Police, you can say. This is what you have to understand, my students. Okay. Now, at least one, and hobbies also, you have to speak about your hobbies also. Like, I love decorating the house. Your hobbies. My hobbies are listening to English song, reading English books. Whatever hobbies that you have to speak about your hobbies also, and your skill also. Whatever skill you have, this is what you have to speak. Here one thing I want you to understand, like whatever skill you have to speak on that one. Like, I'm skillful, whatever skill you have. I'm skillful in writing. I'm skillful in let's say any singing. You can say dancing, whatever skill you have to speak one sentence related to your skill and one sentence related to your hobbies. Like I say, my hobbies are listening to English song and reading English books. I love decorating house. I'm a keen singer. I enjoy swimming in river. I love talking with new people. This is what you have to use in seventh part of your introduction. And finally, closing. Closing is, it's all about me. Thank you. It is the closing part. It's all about me. Thank you. It is a closing part, my dear student. So I want you to be, let's say at the first one slide. Please look at the first one slide that I'm going to display over here. I request you to speak over here, and I request you to give your introduction properly. Who wants to speak by using all these steps, to make your introduction very much effective? Can you tell me, my dear student? Do you want to speak? You have to focus on all these, parts that I have taught to you. Whenever you are introducing yourself, you need to, let's say, include, all these, information in your introduction. Means you have to speak according to these, let's say 8 steps, so that your introduction becomes very much effective. Should I speak in Nepali? So now you can say like this, you can speak, suppose just an example, good evening, everyone. It's me, Crystal Masrest, born and raised in Kathmandu district. Yes, you can say this is the part she can speak. Yeah, or she can speak in different way. Good morning, good evening, everyone. It's my great pleasure to thank you for giving me such an golden opportunity to introduce myself. It's me, Crystal Masresta, born and raised in Kathmandu. Yes, she can say. I belong to a small family of 3 members: me, my father, and mother. She can say. I don't have any job because I'm a student. She can speak about work and experience. Regarding my education, I have completed, bachelor level in science, she can say, or BSc, or she can say any over here. Yes, skills also, she can say anything like her skill hobbies. Like she can say, I'm skillful in English typing, I'm skillful in Nepali typing, or I'm skillful in dancing. Whatever skills she has, she can speak. And finally, it's all about me. Thank you. So you must have all this information with yourself, my student. And here the final body, how the final body looks, I'm going to display here. This is the final body of your introduction. Just have a look at this one. I have a great pleasure to thank you for giving me such an opportunity to introduce myself. I'm Shankar Trivedi, born and raised or grew up in Prabhat district, but now I live in Pokhara. There are 5 members in my family: my parents, a small sister, 2 small sisters, and myself. Talking about my experience, I have been working as an officer of Mega Bank since 2017. Regarding my education, I have completed master, or let's say MA in English from T1 University. Besides, I am pursuing next degree in sociology from the same university. I am skillful in English and Nepali. Yes, my hobbies are listening to English song and reading story books. It's all about me. Thank you. Look at this. This is the final part, final format of your introduction. This is the format you have to follow. All 8 steps are followed here, my student. This format is the body of all 8 steps that I taught you right now. I taught you all 8 steps, and this is the format of that one. So do you have any question that you want to ask me, my student? Do you want to ask me any question over here? Do you want to speak? Anyone? Do you want to speak over here? Do you have any question? You can ask me. If you have any sort of question regarding this one part, you can ask me, my student. This is all I want you to understand, and it's very important part for you to understand also.